So this one is going to be a little bit more interesting, exciting. And so we're going to have x to the fourth minus x squared greater than 0. And we factor out that x squared. Greatest common factor first always. Keep factoring that. X squared times x plus 1 times x minus 1 greater than 0. So that tells us that an x equaling 0 will certainly make that factor 0, a negative 1, and a 1. And we don't want it to actually equal 0. Those are just kind of boundaries. We'll put open dots on those. And now, an even multiplicity. Finally, we got one. So this means, an even multiplicities means that this term is always going to be positive. It doesn't matter whether I'm going to put in numbers slightly to the right of 0 or slightly to the left of 0. Normally that would change a sign. It would be like, but here, this term is always positive and is not going to change the positiveness or negativeness of the entire function. So I'm going to put a little star by that so that when I come to it, I remember that I'm not going to change signs there. Cool. Okay, so I'm still going to plug in a point over on this side, anything bigger than 1. So anything bigger than 1, like a billion, my favorite. A billion squared is positive, a billion plus 1 is positive, a billion minus 1 is positive, 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 definitely positive over here. Now, because this one came from that one came from a factor from this one, right, with an odd multiplicity, he will change signs from positive to negative. But because this one came from an even, the 0 came from an even multiplicity, it will stay the same. So since this is negative, this side stays negative. Cool. Since this negative 1 came from this one and it had an odd multiplicity, it will go ahead and change signs over on this side. So since this is negative, this will be positive. And now I know the positive negativeness of this. So, and I can answer my question. I want things that are greater than 0, so I want the positive stuff. So I want anything over here or anything over here. So I'll take any x that's negative infinity to negative 1 and unite that with any x 1 to infinity. And that is my answer. Awesome. If you wanted to play with this and kind of relate it to the graph, y equals x to the fourth minus x squared, because it's an even power, we know it's doing one of these things. It's positive going up and up. And so when I graph it, I figured out that the zeros are 0, negative 1, and positive 1. And because this guy, that 0, had a multiplicity too, I'll put a little star there. So when I go through, I'm going to cross, and then I bounce, and then I cross. And so these little inequalities are completely related to your graphs and vice versa. I remember my teachers probably told me the relationship, but I remember it was completely lost to me until I started tutoring. I'm like, oh, it's all connected. I didn't connect it before. So anyway, that's that one.